Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. So are you ready for segregation again? That's right, because it's coming to America again. No, not by people that are in the South, and not by people that are of a particular skin tone, but by people on the left. That's right, the people on the left and the woke people. That's right, woke, because they're so smart and they know better than you. They're awake and they know more than you could ever know because they listen to CNN and they listen to politicians and they listen to people like Dr. Fauci and the almighty omnipotent one, Bill Gates. That's right. Segregation is coming to America, and well, you were kind of forewarned about it. I've been talking about it for a few weeks now, or at least I talked about it a few weeks ago. And we're going to get into it and what I mean by that if you're not aware of what's going on here in just a moment. Before I get started, I want to let you know about a great product that I endorse because we use it and have some here at the Homestead. And it's a company called My Patriot Supply. You can go to preparedness.com. I've teamed up with them, and you can buy buckets of freeze-dried emergency food. This is long-term emergency foods, vacuum sealed in Mylar bags, and it will last 25 to 30 year shelf life. And it's really easy to prepare, just some hot boiling water, and you have a full meal, and it's a really great restaurant quality food. So you can go to preparedness.com and check out some of the great deals that we have over there for emergency foods. So what do I mean about segregation? I mean, when you say that, or when I say that, and you hear that, you probably think of the pictures from the 1940s and the 1950s of where there were signs on bathrooms that whites only here, whites only drinking fountain, and a whites only laundromat, and a whites only church, and so on and so forth. Well, it's not exactly like that, but it's pretty doggone close to that. With all of this health crisis that's going on, and especially getting the thing in your arm, we're seeing more and more talk and actual actions of people segregating themselves from the people that haven't gotten or refuse to get the little thing in their arm. And CNN, one of their people, whoever he is, was talking about it and actually said that people that have the shot should start shunning the people that don't have the shot. He said that businesses should require their employees to have it, that it's a much better financial option for them. He said people going to barbecues and birthday parties, or hosting barbecues and birthday parties and stuff, should require that everyone that attends have those things in the arm, and if you don't, you're not allowed to come. Some of the baseball teams that are this year are going to have segregated seating for those that have it and those that don't. We're seeing bathrooms pop up in some places, showing on the news and online, where the certain bathrooms are for the people that have the thing in the arm and the ones that don't have the thing in the arm. And we're hearing more and more talk of, well, that little passport thing that's been talked about, that, of course, the press secretary, Biden's press secretary, said that they have no intention of doing something like that. But yet we are seeing some businesses start to lean towards that direction. And here's the deal. If they're going to start segregating people, if they're going to start making requirements that you can only enter a business or you can only do certain things with it, then they're going to have to come up with some type of universal passport. Because the little piece of paper card that you get when you get one, you probably have all seen people showing pictures of it. It's just a little card, 3x5 or something like that, note card that has a date and time and a signature on it. Those are easily forged. It wouldn't be that hard to make copies of those and to forge those. And they know that. So it's going to get to a point, I would say in the very near future, that you're going to see some company come up with some phone app or something that will be basically a passport that would be able to, prove that you have it or not. Something that could be scanned, and everything is moving to that direction. This is crazy, folks. It's starting to sound like, Nazi Germany. I guess we're all going to start wearing gold stars and having tattooed on us because we don't get the thing in our arms. And what's amazing is that there's actually a large number of people. There was a poll that CNN showed, and of course, you can't always believe these polls, especially when places like CNN did them. But anyways, showing that about 73 to 74% of the American population want some type of passport system or want it enforced, that you can't do business, or that you can't go to a theater, or you can't go to a baseball game unless you have it. We're also seeing incentives. I mean, where they're offering cash money, or they're offering food, and they're offering gift certificates and trinkets and all kinds of stuff if you go and you get this said thing in your arm. I can't remember a time, when they put so much effort into compelling people to do this. If people felt it was a real legitimate thing, and if people felt that it was a true safety issue for themselves, then they would be lining up to get this. If they felt that it was honest, and they felt that it was truly safe, I would think most people would be lining up to get it and say, well, yeah, there's this deadly thing going around, and this stuff that they're wanting to put in my body has been proven to be completely safe. Then why not get it? But obviously that's not the case, because they're still trying to compel so many people to get it. Not just here in America. I've seen videos over in India, which you all know that India, they're having supposedly these horrible high numbers and people falling over dead, even though there are plenty of videos I've seen from people inside India saying that that's not the case. But besides the fact, I've also seen a lot of videos of people inside India protesting against it. They don't want the stuff in their arm. They don't want the needle. So it's not just America. There are many other people around the world that are protesting against this, because they see how fraudulent it is. They see that while we may not know exactly what it does and whether it truly is safe or not, the fact that it came out of nowhere so quickly, was developed so quickly, it's not even been approved by the FDA. It's just, it's experimental, and the study process as well, the whole population of the American people. And they see that. They see that, this is ridiculous to force something on us like this, to compel people so strongly to get something like this, when there's no real evidence that it's safe. In fact, there's a lot of evidence indicating that it's not always safe. And we're dealing with something that, only has a very small, tiny percentage of inflicting real harm on people, this health crisis. But this whole segregation, this whole passport thing, I believe it's becoming a more real thing. And I said in the beginning, when the rumors started flying, that we may never see an official edict, a law mandating this on a federal level. But we could very well see private businesses push for something like that, to the point that you still can't go do business anywhere, because all these private businesses have signed on to this for the greater good of society. And that if you don't have this passport to prove that you got the needle, then, you can't come do business there. This is another reason why we prepare, folks. There's a lot of crazy people out there that are obsessing over these people on TV, obsessing over Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates, and obsessing over getting it. They're so elated. They've even talked about, I've even seen people say that after they received the shot, it was like a euphoric experience of getting it, that it was this euphoria was over them from getting this shot, that they just felt so amazed and so wonderful for getting it. We live in some pretty troubling and crazy times, folks. And here we are at a stage in history where, once again, we are separating people based on one particular thing, whether it's race, religion, your choice to get something in your body or not. It's insanity. There's tons of evidence, and I don't even really want to make this video about that, but there's tons of evidence indicating that it may not be the safest thing, that your own immune system can do really good on its own. And even if the needle is completely legit, even if it was completely safe, I cannot imagine or come up with a legitimate reason for forcing it on people or compelling people. There's people online, and thinking about this video, I was doing a little research and just kind of surfing around to see what was kind of what people are saying. And there was post after post and comments on certain videos and certain news articles about this, of people that were just openly supporting this, that were flat out saying that, you shouldn't allow people in your home that doesn't have it. You shouldn't associate with other family members if they don't get it. You shouldn't do business with people if they don't get it. That they are completely supportive of this idea that if you don't get this needle in your arm, then you need to be ostracized. You need to be shunned from society. And if that's what it's going to end up, probably folks like myself is going to say, fine, I'm okay with that. But that's why you need to be prepared. What if it comes down to it? What if you're one of the ones that don't want to get the shot? And I'm not telling you that you should or you shouldn't do it. That's your own choice. If you want to get it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. And no one should force you to do either one. But have you thought about it? That it comes down to it and you're told you can't go into a grocery store if you don't have it. You're told that your children can't go to school if they don't have it. You're told maybe you can't go to your church if you don't have it. You may not be able to go to your job if you don't have it. You may not be able to do much of anything if you don't have proof of getting this thing. And that is why, and a very big reason why, you should start getting yourselves prepared. I've said this on this channel a few times, and I've said it in real life several times. Whatever your line in the sand is, folks, whatever your line in the sand is, that you would draw it in the sand and say, okay, this is my line. If they cross this line, it's done. It's over. I'm not going to tolerate any more than wherever that line is. You need to already start making up your mind what you're going to do when they cross that line. Because I assure you, wherever your line in the sand is, they will cross that line. They will intrude upon your life. They will infiltrate your privacy. They always will. They always have, and it's always going to get worse. And this one, well, this one kind of takes the cake. Because we're telling people on a national level that you have to get it. They're making threats. The president is making threats, in a way, by saying if we don't get at least this many people with it in their arm by this date, then sorry, you can't go celebrate, Independence Day. Sorry, you can't go to grandma's house. Why, if you want all these restrictions lifted, if you want these restrictions rolled back, then the only way it's going to happen is if you come to the altar of the federal government and the CDC and the FDA and the Bill Gates Foundation and Dr. Fauci and Moderna and Pfizer and all of them, and you allow them to inject you with whatever it is that they've concocted. And if you want to go to a baseball game, if you want to go to a movie theater, if you want to send your kids to school, you want to go to a grocery store and buy your groceries, you want to keep your job, then you better also get it. Because you're not going to be part of society any longer. That's basically what they're starting to say. And this is picking up some speed, especially just in the last few days. It's starting to pick up some speed. Folks, you need to get ready. Hope you got your gardens in or working on them. Hope you got your food preparations in place, your water, your safety and security, you know, the tools that you need to secure your home and to secure your family. Because it could very well come a day that they finally drop the hammer and say, well, if you don't get this right here, you're no longer part of society and you're out there to fend for yourself. I think that the far left of society, of the population, I think they would be supportive of that. Based on the comments online, I think that they would be supportive of that. And it's a pretty scary thing that in such a short amount of time we have come to this place in our nation's history. They say history repeats itself. It's true, because we've seen this kind of stuff throughout history several times. And it usually does not end very well. So folks, get your house in order. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.